What I'm going to show you next is going to blow you away. So CNBC has a terrific morning show. I used to work at this network, and it's some smart people, well, some smart people, not all of them, over there. I do think that a lot of financial reporters are sort of governed by our interest in making sure that we have a healthy, vibrant economy, and that kind of dominates our thinking and our reporting. Well, Gina Raimondo, who is the Commerce Secretary under Biden and Harris, like Commerce Secretary, right? It's kind of a big deal. You're supposed to understand commerce. You're supposed to understand the economy. You're supposed to understand business. You're supposed to actually understand that 1 + 1 is 2 and be able to react in real time to things. I mean, this woman is like a glutton for punishment. She keeps going on this show, and Joe Kerning keeps going up one side and down the other. It's actually sort of entertaining to watch. Like I said, that's the producer in me coming out, okay? So I'm watching this going, you've got to be kidding me. But way to go, Joe, calling it like it is. He just eviscerates this woman, Gina Raimondo. Take a peek. She's all in for Harris, all in, all day, all week, all night for Kamala Harris, but she doesn't know what day it is.
By the way, he was president. We know what that resulted in. Massive
like you kind of forgot that. Seems like you kind of forgot that earlier. Yeah, and the tariffs that he did put on were continued by the Biden administration. There was no recession. Real wages were actually up. Stock market did well. A lot of very positive things happened. Record low unemployment until the pandemic. So it's just weird to act like it's a complete wild card what kind of president you would be when you've got a blueprint right there of what kind of president he would be. And Kamala Harris has been vice president for 4 years, and we've seen exactly what kind of vice president she would be.
Right. What have you seen? You've seen more manufacturing in this country since any time since World War II.
I've seen real wages go down. I've seen crime.
That's not true.
What's not true?
I just don't agree with that.
Real weekly wages have gone down.
Doesn't agree with the fact that real wages have gone down. They've gone down 8.6%. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, real wages. Those are the wages that are adjusted for inflation. One of the things that just really struck me when he first came to office, Joe Biden, that is, maybe we were like a year in, and the New York Times was trying to spin some rosy economic picture, and they had some article, and they never referred to real wages. They were just like, wages are up, 4% or whatever. Of course, inflation at the time was up like 9%. So you can't really say if inflation is 9.1% and wages are up 3.9%, that wages are up 3.9 or almost 4%. You understand the cost of everything has gone that much up. So you have to look at real wages. Everyone knows this. This is like Econ 101. And yet the idiot print reporter over at the New York Times with a clear bias doesn't want to admit that. Gina Raimondo, she should know better. She may know better, but she's going to spin it and sit there as though she's the victim when Joe's saying, no, that's not the case. This woman actually is, in my estimation, sounding kind of dangerous as of late. There was the time the other day, she may have been on CNN or MSNBC. I don't know. I get them confused. And she was asked about the fact that we hadn't created as many jobs as many people in the administration had led us to believe. The Labor Department was like, oh, we've created this many jobs. It turns out they were like really light, like the lightest they've been in decades. They didn't create anywhere near close to the number. I mean, they were like nearly 1 million light, okay? So it was a big deal. But it was just a number, right? It's just the Labor Department publishing a number. Well, they asked her about it. You'd think she'd know. The report came out that morning, and she's like, that's not true. That's not true. That's Trump. It's like, lady, it's your own darn Labor Department, okay? Like, own up to it. These are your numbers. These are your numbers. But she also went on MSNBC and had this little nugget. I'm telling you, she's dangerous.
He says is the opposite. It's just another lie. Like, how did we get here? Let's extinguish him for good. We have an answer. We have a remarkably talented candidate who is sincere, who's pragmatic, who's open. Let's just get...
You caught that? Let's extinguish him for good?
For good. We have here. Let's extinguish him for good. We have an answer.
Okay, so that's Gina Raimondo in a nutshell. Meet your Commerce Secretary, ladies and gentlemen, who doesn't understand labor markets, who doesn't understand ports. There's kind of a big deal thing going on with the port problems. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But before we do, if you're worried about markets, if you're worried about investing, you know what? I'm going to tell you not to worry because we have a few ideas for you over here at 76 Research. I want to share this with you. If you guys haven't signed up for this, you should. You should, because we've got a lot of ideas to help you protect your money, to help you grow your money. We've got 3 model portfolios there. You can get the 76 report, and for like, I mean, it's like $9.95 a month, and then for an additional 22 or something, you can throw in a model portfolio where you get 10 to 15 names, and we walk you through whether to buy or sell, in our estimation, those holdings, because Rob and I are all about making sure that we, for ourselves and for you, help to grow the overall worth there. And these are portfolios that are designed to really help you either build income or grow through the American Resilience portfolio, or beat inflation with the inflation protection portfolio. I mean, ideally, you're doing all of those in each one, but each one has kind of a different tilt to it. So if you like tech, American Resilience is for you. If you're really concerned about inflation and you want to think about things like gold and other commodity plays in light of inflation, then the inflation protection is for you. And then basic income, which, by the way, is just on a tear. He's actually crunching the numbers. I just spoke to him before I got on the air. So he's crunching the numbers as we speak for the latest month. But if we go back to last month's number, it's just incredible. The basic income builder portfolio was actually up with a median increase of somewhere around 16% versus here we go. I want to show you this. So this is 76research.com. It was actually a median stock return, forgive me, of 16%. Versus the S&P up 6%, Stock 1 up 26%. I mean, just phenomenal names in here. And so I encourage you guys to go right over to 76 Research, 76research.com, and get one of these model portfolios. In fact, you can get all of the model portfolios if you sign up for Founders Club. So that's like the best discount of all. And then you get all 10 to 15 holdings in each one of those.